My goodness, girl groups. SWV has a little thing going on. You got people like Tiny and the girls coming back. I'm just sitting here like, you know what? This is what music is all about. You're supposed to use what is from the past and try to not improve on it, but put your own spin on it. I honestly don't feel that music, this mumble rap, um, has made a spin on anything. Kind of, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's stupid. I feel like back in my day when I listened to hip hop, you always had a parent or somebody was like, cut that down. It's loud. Whatever. They parents told them that. But and if my parents let me talk the way these mumble rappers talk, my mother would say to me, "Take that mush out your mouth and actually use words." These rappers aren't even using words nowadays. There are no words. Where are the words? Goobity gobbity gaga goobity gaga. That's not a word. That's not a word. It makes no sense. And taking random sounds that's not a word and putting it over a beat does not make it hip hop. It is not hip hop. That's not hip hop. That's a mess. That's a hot mess. That's what that is. I just heard a little while ago that Method Man came out with the new city in 2018. And I'm sitting back here like, why wasn't this promoted? I mean, Method Man is not just some regular smuggler dude who just randomly come to the hip hop scene. I mean, this man is a legend in the hip hop game. He's been making records for years. Why was he not promoted? Where was the promotion in his hip hop? Like, where was it? Are we so far gone in this music world that we have lost touch with real music? You don't have to really answer that because the answer is yes. These kids have no respect for real music. When I hear young rappers say things like Tupac is boring, I want to smack somebody. I just want to smack someone. I mean, aside the fact that I'm a Baltimorean and that's where Tupac is from, I'm sitting here like, sorry y'all, lost my video. I'm sitting here like, how dare you, someone who I've not even heard of, like you're not relevant enough for me to hear about you. My friends had no idea you existed. People who are young, even younger than me, are just like, I don't even know this man. Like, who is he? And you had the audacity to say things like, Tupac is boring. No, you're boring and you're weird looking. Okay, people like that young man whose name I can't even. See, I can't remember his name. When you can't remember someone's name, like, come on now, it's very relevant. And like people like Takashi 69, that man even came out and said he can't rap. He said he just write a bunch of words on the paper and then he says it. He talks like, I'm gonna rap a song and that's all I'ma do. Hip hop has lost its feeling. It's lost its feeling. And it's sad because hip hop has always been something that is a, an outlet for young kids, grown adults. It's everywhere. It's a music that tells good stories, good homegrown stories. You know, when I start turning on the radio and I can't even hear a story brought to me through song, it says something. I'm not asking you to write a freaking sonnet. I'm not asking you to go ahead and be the next Shakespeare. But I would like it that if you're going to rap, I mean really rap, then I really want you to rap. I mean real bars. I mean real bars. Whole sentences, real words. Music is a wonderful outlet. It's a wonderful tool. It's something that helps so many people in so many ways. I feel that the way that these young artists are behaving is a total disrespect to hip hop itself. It's a disrespectful situation. You are degrading rappers who came before you. You want respect, but can't give respect. hip hop has always been about respect. So how do you expect to come into this lane, in this field, and disrespect everything that came before you, but ask and demand for respect? These rappers that you were so-called calling boring or telling them that they're whack and all this other stuff, sir, they actually had to work. They came from real struggle. They had something to rap about. When I listened to Method Man, he had some funny raps, some goofy raps. He was all about women and this and that, but he also had real hard situations that he went through that he put into his music to share with the world. That to me, that's real. That's real music. That's real hip hop. And that's hard to find nowadays. Once in a while, I have, a few rappers on my Instagram and my Twitter. I was starting to reach out to them, and they were sending me their albums, their EPs, and I was like, man, I'm really excited about this. I'm really trying to build this, and they're actually responding to it. The other day I was driving home, and I think I mentioned this in my last video, but I was driving home and I just got this like weird feeling in my stomach. I said, you know what? I'm missing something, because I was listening to the radio stations out here in Pennsylvania where I live now. Like, something's missing, something's missing. I went home for a weekend and I turned on 92Q. Shout out to 92Q. I love you. I miss you. I miss you all so much. And I was like, that's what I'm missing. I'm missing that piece of home I can't have here. There are no R&B and hip hop stations, no neo soul, none of that out in the state, out in York, Pennsylvania. So I actually reached out to a few radio personalities. I reached out to Charlamagne God. I reached out to people like Ricky Smiley. And then I reached out to, for those of you in Baltimore, you know who he is. You know him as Pork Chop. I reached out to Pork Chop, not expecting anything. So if you were watching my Facebook the other day, I said, that whole asking ye shall receive thing, it really works. Amen. Because I was like, you know what? I wasn't expecting anything back. I just wanted to get it out there. My message was, there are no R&B and hip hop stations in York. And whenever I meet people in York who love R&B, who love hip hop, they always complain about they don't play that enough out here. And I went to the Pork Chop, and after I sent that message, I said, I live in York now, and there's no R&B hip hop stations here. I want to bring one here. What do I need to do? I never expected a response. I never expected one. But that man took the time out of his day to message me back. And the first thing he said was, you need a lot of money. I laughed to myself like, well, yeah, just to walk around the corner, you need a lot of money. I'm talking about that's nothing, that's something everybody needs. But he said, but you also need support and backing, And the last line he put in that message was, here's my number. Call me tomorrow. I'm a girl, just a regular girl from Baltimore City. So for someone like him, who is well known, not only just in Baltimore, but all over, for him to take the time out, whether it was 5 seconds, 10 seconds, to just reply to that, gave me chills. I can't even describe my chills. They were crazy. And, it gave me hope. It gave me real hope that, I wasn't just somebody who was talking about hip hop and how it hasn't come back. And I wasn't just talking about these things, that I was actually moving in a direction to make them happen. So after this happened, I met a young lady on my Instagram. Her name is I Am Renee, and she is a R&B artist, and she just dropped her album, and she's from Chicago. And she had, liked my Instagram page, and after she liked the Instagram page, I had reached out to her and said, I would love to listen to your music. She sent me the link to her album. And I must say, guys, this album was amazing. I want to actually play you one of the songs. One of my favorite songs that she has on her CD is called Death to the Diva. Not knocking my diva singers, because I love you. People like Beyonce, they love them and they're all great and everything. But Her music is so raw. It is so edgy. It is so catchy. You didn't just find one genre of music on her album. You did not just find one. In her entire album, I was able to catch like four genres. I said you had a little bit of rock. You had she rapped in these in on her album. She had a little bit of reggae. She had R&B. She had soul. That's five. That's five types of music in one album. That's music. That is music. So I reached out to her again and I said, on top of me doing my vlogging and talking about how hip hop, just music in general, bringing new music to new people and having these musical discussions, I said, I'm starting a blog, you know, and I want you to be my first interview. And I told her, I said, I'm not a big time person at all. I don't, have a big following yet, but one day I'll get there. But I just want to review your album because it was really amazing. It made me feel something. You know, that's I think what a lot of that's what's missing from music today is feeling. There's no feeling. It's all about money and women and cars and how many people you slept with last week and your baby mother and whoever else, things that honestly speaking, I can't relate to. I don't have $1 million sitting in my account. And guess what? I'm okay with that. I don't have 5 Ferraris sitting out my driveway either. And I'm cool with that. What I have is what I have, and I'm blessed to have it. But it's not relatable. This music is not a relatable situation. So to hear her album and to hear her talk about something that I actually can relate to was so beautiful. And I'm actually going to list her information in the description box so that you all can have that. But it was a beautiful experience to hear this woman's album. Her voice is stunning. She is stunning. Oh my gosh. Her album cover alone is just amazing. And once my vlog goes up, I'll make sure to put that information on my page as well, because I want you guys to really, take a look at that, review her album, go out and listen to it. I will promote good music. That is something that I'm very serious about. I will always promote good music. What I won't do is lie to you about music. I won't. If it's bad, I'm gonna tell you that sucked. I don't know what made that person decide to do this, but that is not a good song. He can take that all the way back outside to the garbage can and dump it in the bag. I can't. I don't know why that happened. I'll never knock somebody's hustle, but I will never tell somebody that they are good at something that they're not. It's just not something I can do, especially music. It means too much to me. It means too much to other people who are actually out here trying to make good music for me to promote something that makes no sense. And like I said, I'm sorry, mumble rap is not a thing. It's overrated. It's overrated. It's nothing but a beat and mushy words. It's a beat with mushy. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm gonna be. I mean, for all the mothers out there listening, if your son or your daughter came home mumbling words while they were talking to you, I know that the first thing you're gonna say is, "Go out there, spit whatever you got in your mouth out, and come back." Because I don't understand nothing you said. What I don't even know what that was. What were those words? Those aren't words. I don't know what that is. Like come back and come back when you can speak to me. At least that's what I would do. You're always telling your child, speak up, speak clear. And now we're up here promoting people that sound like mushmouth on a regular basis, all because he got a nice beat underneath it. No thanks. You can have that. I'm not gonna. I can't sell out to fake music, and I won't. It's just not gonna happen. But back to this Method Man album. I love this man. I always have. His album is still what, even after all these years, this man is still, he is still making good music. Oh my goodness. I know y'all love Method Man. Come on. And if you don't like love him, you at least like him because he's funny. Redman is funny and he's goofy. Don't tell Method Man I said that. But we love him. He's real. He's raw. And these are he just makes feel good music, and it tells, like I said again, it just tells it just tells a great story. I can't stand a story that doesn't make any sense. You ever heard those songs? You just sitting there like, what is this? What just happened? Why is this playing on my radio? That's the face I make every day when I drive down the street and I listen and people put that stuff on. I will never like Fifi. It's ugly. It's the ugly song. The song is ugly. That song is stupid. It makes no sense. And I'm not proud of Nicki for putting herself on that song. I don't understand why she lowered herself to be on a song with such an idiot. I just don't get it. I don't. I just don't. So earlier today, I heard that Eminem replied to MGK with the diss track called I'm going to say target practice. That's not what he called it. Shots fired or something. Anyway, point is the pictures what got me. Okay, you had this man with bullet holes in his face and a man bun. I said in my last video, it was very stupid of him. I said it was very stupid of MGK to come for Eminem. I've proven myself right. It was the dumbest decision he could have ever made in his life. Because now you done got Eminem all fired up and he ready to shots fired. That's what shots fired. So now he's ready to I just want to have a moment of silence for MGK's career because it's about to be flatlined. I'm so sorry. Oh, okay, that minute's over. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm getting ready to bring in a friend of mine. And I want to, she and I had talked about her coming and joining this conversation because I like to hear other people's opinions about my topics. And the reason I like to have that is because you get to have that back and forth because not everybody's opinion is the same as mine. So I enjoy taking people's commentary about hip hop because it's never supposed to be one sided or about R&B or neo. So you're never supposed to have things that are just one sided. You need to have that that good commentary. It's good for your morale. It's good for the culture. And I think it's a wonderful thing. So I'm gonna bring her in. Give me 1 second. Y'all, I hope y'all know I'm so bad at this. I'm so bad at this. This is new to my life. I never really. Okay. So the song has has anybody heard the new song from Method Man? While I get my friend to come in. Has anybody heard it? If you haven't, I'm getting ready to play it. Please get your glasses up. 25 years and still going. I'm sorry, I have no rights to this song or this music. I'm just sharing it with the world because I thought it was good. I plan to give it to you or get a plan B. Y'all be racing to the cash, that's
Ricky Bobby for that bag, that's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. Ricky Bobby for that bag, that's a guarantee. I'm still working on the comments while the system try to curb me and mercy from behind. Problem when you coming from the bottom, cause you even get been lying to me from the bottom. I ain't a minor teen spirit in the violence. Me pro map is clear, it's kinda syrup, ain't your baby mama drama trying to act like she Madonna like a virgin. I'm certain that this person up around. Man, need a Jeffrey Dahmer if it's straight, get a stand to kill a man that's good time. Getting roasted in the summer. Straps in the room and shell ain't post the line. With that money, college, you can go and pay me homage. If you use knowledge, you can know it's solid. By the time you check your pockets, I already got you wildin'. You can try, but you never understand. I plan to give it to you. Get a plan B. Y'all be racing to the cash, that's a Grand Prix. I go keep Bobby for that bag, that's a guarantee.
Y'all heard it. That man still has it. And you hear in the beginning of the song, the first thing he says is 25 years in. This man has paid his dues to hip hop. He has given us hits. He has given us love. And he mentions in the song what he's done for the culture. And for those of you who don't know, Method Man is really big on uplifting the African American culture. I heard the other day that we're not called African Americans anymore. We're called people of color. Has anybody heard that? I don't know. You can leave me a comment or leave me a comment and let me know how you feel about that. But that apparently is a thing. I'm not supposed to say I'm African American anymore. I'm supposed to say I'm a person of color. So anyway, he has done so much for our community, more than what people realize. Outside of organizations, reaching out to the youth, um, his music and music programs. Method Man is, he never claims to be perfect. He never claims that he's better than other people. He just wants music to do for others what it has done for him. And he displays that, quite often. I don't know if you all have Twitter. A lot of people don't use Twitter now. Not people don't use Twitter. But even if you have Instagram, but he's bigger on, he does more on Twitter. But if you go to his Twitter page, you know, outside, he's one of the people that's always advocating for young African Americans. He's always advocating for music programs and making sure that these are things that we have in the community because it helps to keep so many children out of trouble. Where people are just like, we don't need music programs, we don't need art programs. Lies. Even the statistics have shown that music and art helps keep children motivated and it helps them to stay in school. I will. Somebody wants me to play Death to the Divas. I want to play Death to the Divas too. That's gonna be the next one. But so I'm doing that and going up, picking up music. I'm gonna keep rolling with my music. I always will keep posting the music and everything. I want to get some feedback. If Ashley, can you do me a favor? Can you request to come in the video? Cause listen, apparently I can't get you in here. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna bring my sister in. I'm waiting for her to say something smart. I want to hear about, just your opinions. Do you all feel like hip hop is taking the L? Like, do you think hip hop is taking a serious L? Because, some people feel like it has, some people feel like it hasn't. But, for me, I feel like, they've taken hip hop and they've made a joke of it. I say to people all the time, if you ever want to understand, or if I could ever put my feelings about hip hop, in words, I would have you go listen to Common's and I used to love her. And it was a record he did back in 1994. And if you have not heard that record, please, by all means, it is something that you need to hear. It's something that everyone, I think, needs to hear. Anyone who's a music appreciator needs to hear that. it's a it's a good song, and it tells it's basically saying what I feel now, but in a better way, and like in a softer sense. But that right there, that was Grand Prix by Method Man. And as I said before, I have no rights to these songs. I just wanted to share them with the world because I feel like they should be. I honestly feel like this was not this CD, this album was not promoted the way it should have been. I feel like, people like Fifi over there, they're overshadowing real hip hop. So I'm gonna go ahead and post this video for you all now. And then once I post it in the description box, you're gonna see the information for Method Man's album. I'm gonna also put in I'm Renee, her album. And by all means, I am so glad that you guys stopped by. And I'll again will be with you next week, same time, same place. Make sure that you have your nightcaps ready. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, by all means, head on over to YouTube, the nightcap, and hit the subscribe button, like and share if you enjoyed this video. If you ever want to post or talk about an artist that you feel needs to be, put out there on the forefront, you feel has real talent and they're not getting enough attention, please drop me their information. I will listen. I will do whatever I can. Like I said, I will promote good music. Now, if you send me something that you know darn well don't sound right, don't get mad when I tell you the truth now. Don't get mad when I tell you the truth. So don't send somebody that sound like Fifi over there, all for me to tell you, take Fifi gotta go. Go sit down somewhere. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. I had a good time as I always do. Don't forget, check into the YouTube channel, the nightcap, and then the blog for the love of music will be coming soon. And I can't wait for you all to check it out. I love you. Have a good night. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe and be blessed.